Welcome back to another episode, GW. I'm Izzy Angeli, and this is GWeek from home. Kimberly Crenshaw, creator of the term intersectionality, a form of feminism that connects race, class, and gender to the continuous struggles of Black women, spoke at GW's 6th Annual Diversity Summit. She discussed the future of social justice for people of color, how she contributed to a social justice movement to combat police brutality against Black women, and her takeaways thus far from COVID-19. She said that despite the victory of Joe Biden, Americans cannot forget that nearly half of the country still voted for Donald Trump, saying, quote, "We cannot have an unearned reintegration without articulating what broke, and we cannot begin to articulate what broke when millions of people think that nothing has broken," end quote. Crenshaw added that there is a gap in media coverage between violence against Black men and Black women. A university official from Tigray University said on Thursday that Ethiopia's military airstrike has reached the school, causing immense damage with the government bombarding its own people. The Ethiopian government has yet to comment, as it has been fighting the Tigray regional forces since an attack on their military base on November 4th. The continuous airstrikes between Tigray and the Ethiopian government comes after a falling out between Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and the Tigray leaders, quote, "who once dominated the country's ruling coalition," end quote, according to the Associated Press. Reports from U.S. diplomats to Africa say that neither side is interested in efforts to mediate, while 17 U.S. senators urged Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to engage the Prime Minister directly to encourage a ceasefire. Because communication to the Tigray region is limited, it's unclear how many people were killed or injured. With 55 million confirmed cases of coronavirus worldwide, countries are racing to produce and distribute a vaccine. Many different U.S. pharmaceutical companies have joined the communal effort, Moderna being one of them. McKenzie McManaman has the story.
Countries around the world are currently engaged in a communal effort to produce and distribute a coronavirus vaccine as the pandemic rages on with over 55 million confirmed cases and 1.3 million deaths worldwide. Multiple U.S. drug companies have joined the effort to develop a vaccine as the country has seen an increase of roughly 82% in new cases in recent weeks. According to the New York Times, Moderna, an American biotechnology company, announced Monday that based on preliminary trials, its coronavirus vaccine was 94.5% effective, joining Pfizer as a front-runner in the attempt to contain the deadly virus. These companies are expected to apply for emergency FDA approval very soon. However, it could be months until a vaccine is widely available for the public. In a recent press conference, President Donald Trump said he expects a coronavirus vaccine to be widely available to the public by April 2021. The president said 20 million vaccine doses should be ready to distribute to healthcare workers, the elderly, and other high-risk populations in December, and that the administration will not enforce another lockdown. According to AP News, President-elect Joe Biden's scientific advisors are currently planning to meet with vaccine makers in the coming days. Biden's newly named chief of staff, Ron Klain, said that Trump's refusal to acknowledge his election loss is slowing the Biden team's coronavirus response planning. After initially playing down Trump's refusal to begin the transition, President-elect Biden sharpened his criticism Monday, saying that, quote, "more people may die from COVID-19 if the Trump administration doesn't begin coordinating with his team on the mass distribution of a vaccine when it becomes available." As President Trump and his campaign continue to pursue legal challenges regarding the election results, the federal government has stalled the transition, leaving Biden's team unable to speak to current administration officials about the next steps amid the pandemic. Individual states are hoping to create a distribution plan, but still await key information, including the number of vaccine doses they will receive. After the struggle to obtain necessary PPE for frontline workers earlier this year, some state officials are concerned about the lack of transparency and communication from the federal government regarding a solid distribution plan. Dr. Fauci, the government's top infectious disease expert, said Tuesday that the nation needed a uniform plan rather than a disjointed state-by-state response. As COVID-19 numbers continue to rapidly rise across the country, leaders await critical information regarding a vaccine. While the vaccine trials from both Moderna and Pfizer sound promising, they have yet to be approved and will not be effective until at least 75% of the population is inoculated. For GWeek, I'm McKenzie McManaman.
Thanks, McKenzie. Election officials, including the Georgia governor, certified Joe Biden's victory on Friday, finally putting unfounded accusations of fraud by President Trump and his supporters to rest. The results reported by Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger show Biden's win at 2.47 million votes and Trump at 2.46 million votes. This leaves Biden leading by almost 13,000 votes. Republican Governor Brian Kemp certified the state's 16 electors, but hasn't shown an effort to defend the integrity of this year's elections, but said he's required to, quote, formalize the certification, which paves the way from Trump's campaign to pursue other legal options and a separate recount if they choose, end quote. 2 years ago, Trump's endorsement of Kemp helped him win the heated Republican primary against Democrat Stacey Abrams. Despite Trump's presidential election loss, he's expected to be a major influence in upcoming state runoffs in Georgia, when Kemp will have to seek re-election. That's all we have for this week. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure to check us out at gw-tv.com or on Instagram at GWeek News.